going on, Mr. Todd?
What's up, Mr. Bailey?
Nothing much,
Happy
nothing
Thursday
much.
to you.
It's my Friday, so looking forward to the weekend, that's for sure. But looking forward to talking a little bit about the Lake Toho here in a minute. So we got Harrelson hopped on at 4:58 this afternoon. He's been sitting in the back, waiting for this live. So he's our number one fan there. Appreciate
Wow,
that, Harrelson. Uh,
dang, a whole
hey,
2 hours.
folks are not going to want to miss this. So if you guys have questions, comments, or concerns about what we're going to be going over today, we're going to reference you guys back to this live because we're going to be going over a lot of essential things as it regards to fishing chaos and just some of the questions that we had. We're going to do. I thought it would be beneficial for us to do a live and bring it up on the screen and kind of and talk to you guys about it. Next week we will bring on the top five if they can make it. This week they just had a lot of stuff going on, so we just decided to continue to have the live, but really just focus in on some of the things that we found from a judging standpoint after going back and reviewing some of the photo submissions, location services, just a bunch of things that we really want to hit on to really minimize the impact that it's going to have throughout the remainder of the year. For you guys competing in our trail. So that's really what the majority of this podcast or this live is really going to be about, is us talking about those things as it entails to fishing chaos, and then answer any question that you guys may have. What we're going to do, and I'm just going to preface this here now, is we are going to be sharing some photos of some submissions that were or some fish that were submitted to this weekend's tournament. If these, we're not putting names to these submissions or anything. These is purely used for a learning experience, or learning not experience, but a learning curve for you guys. But also, we're going to use these photos to kind of help other anglers not make the same mistakes, right? So again, hopefully no one has any hurt feelings that we're using your guys's photos, but again, no names or anything are attached to it. We just want to make sure that everyone's on the same page. So yeah, Daniel Higgins just hopped on. Heard you're banning LiveScope. Yeah, no, we're not banning LiveScope. We're not hopping on that train. In fact, we're highly encouraging you guys to use it if you can, because it doesn't necessarily help you catch fish. It helps you
Yes.
locate them. Helps you
Scoping and
locate
hooking.
fish. It helps you locate fish. It doesn't help you catch them. I'll promise you that much. I have it on my kayak and definitely hasn't helped me too much.
I know somebody that played with theirs in the whole tournament this past weekend.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean,
He had a lot of fun with it.
yeah. A lot of shooting and missing is what will happen.
Yeah.
Spend more time looking at that screen. You're like, oh man, where did the tournament go? And now you're like, I got 20 minutes to catch 4 fish.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, guys, I know we're not going to really wait for a lot of folks to hop on here. Again, we want to keep you guys in tuned, putting out as much content as we can as possible to make sure that you guys are squared away, because even the most experienced anglers are having trouble with this, and we want to make sure that it gets handled appropriately so no one can say, hey, we didn't give you the opportunity. We communicated, or I specifically communicated, and Daniel communicated throughout the tournament, and sent the angler emails and notifications when fish were denied or deducted points or inches or whatever. So if you hear your name called, I wasn't able to do this at the post event meetup at the award ceremony because my tablet died. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mention some names in this in this podcast. If your name is mentioned, you are one of the anglers that needs to correct their location settings. Not necessarily their location setting, but their photo library settings for whenever they capture a photo. The XF data, and we're going to show you exactly what that means. So if your name's called, really pay attention to when we're talking about how to one, test to see if your settings are accurate, but two, to really see to make sure that how you can change it if you are called here. So what I'll go ahead and do is Todd, I'm going to go ahead and kind of call those names off early on so that folks know if they're just tuning in who they are, and so that they know to pay attention once we go over here in a minute. Okay. So real quick, just sit tight for me. Can you see me?
Yeah. No, I can't
Okay.
see you.
You can't see me? All right, hold on. I don't know why my tablet can you see me now?
Yeah.
All right. Yep. So if I read your name off, you are someone that needs to pay attention to what we're about to go over next. So Bill Daly, Chris Collier, Christopher Lindsay, Ditton Giovinco, Jeremy Leach, Nicholas Beltran, Richard Bruce, and Timothy Strasbaugh. If I just called your name, and there were quite a few other anglers that didn't catch anything or didn't submit anything, whose services might be, or their settings might not be configured properly. So I'll reach out to them as well. So Andrew Cordero, Christopher Parker, Christopher O'Razi, David Noble, Joshua Perez, and Zachary Justice. I would definitely pay attention to this as well, just because you guys didn't submit anything to the Fishing Chaos tournament dashboard. We weren't able to verify your if your stuff was configured properly. Yes, sir.
So a lot of times, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't it pertain more to Android users
Nope.
than
So
no?
nope.
Oh,
This was a lot of them were actually. If I called your name and you were an Android user, reach out to me. But the ones that I spoke to were iPhone users too.
oh, okay.
So yes, what this is a lot of folks. So your settings there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube where you type in Fishing Chaos or Fishing Chaos how to verify location services, and I actually just posted one on our members only page that and said, hey, this pertains to this weekend's or to tonight's video. Go and watch that. It's 2 minutes and 48 seconds long, and it shows you how to do exactly what we're about to talk about. So a lot of people are like, hey, Chris, my location services is perfect. Yes, your location is fine. And it tested perfect. It tested. You got the little green checkbox in your Fishing Chaos. What we're talking about and what's going to get your fish DQ'd if it's not properly configured is the XF data. And folks are and people are like, oh, what is that? That is if you take a photo of your fish, okay, and you send it to your gallery and it sits in your gallery, then you go to Fishing Chaos and you click view gallery to select what photo you want to use. You click it and then you upload it. All the judge is going to see is your photo submission location. So you could have been, on the south end of Toho, caught the fish on the south end of Toho, went all and didn't have service on the lake, and then you went to submit it on your way to the award ceremony. What that would have done to the judges when you submitted it, it would have showed the submission on the road, not on the water. So that fish would have been denied. So what you guys need to do is go to the second setting on. I'll show it to you here in a second. It's the second setting on the test app feature, and it looks like. Todd, you want to bring it up?
You want me to bring it up in our the preference stuff where
Yeah.
where it shows
Yeah,
it
we'll
in
go. We'll start right from the beginning. Yeah. So Todd's going to bring up a screen here. So this is the main screen. How you get to this is you go up to the top right hand corner of the Fishing Chaos, and you hit your name. For this particular scenario, it's Todd Quillen. So you click that in the top left hand corner. It's going to bring you to this screen. Todd, scroll down. You're going to see preferences right there. You're going to click preferences.
It's going to scroll
Okay.
down.
You're going to scroll down, click preferences. Scroll up, Todd. You're going to see this is preferences. Scroll down a little bit. You're going to see a little bit more. Test app settings. Go to the test app settings right there. You're going to click it. Right. So he's using this on a desktop, but scrolled camera settings, he's not going to be able to test. But it's a good thing here. If you see where it has that little tell me more question mark, if you click that, it's going to bring up a video. Don't click it, Todd, because it's gonna mess some things up. But underneath the camera roll settings, this is what we're talking about. If you are uploading photos from your camera roll, you're going to test photo library, hit it, In his case, it's probably going to show a green little check mark once it loads.
No, it's not going to do it on my computer.
Okay. So if it shows a little red X there, you need to click the tell me more icon. That tell me more icon is going to show you that video that I linked in the members only page. But if you have an iPhone, it's a very simple fix. All you got to do is you need to go to your settings. Okay, so you're going to go to your settings and you're going to scroll down to wherever Fishing Chaos is on your iPhone underneath your settings. So for me, Fishing Chaos is right underneath the Fish Hunt Florida. You click Fishing Chaos. This is what your settings should look like. So location services is while using the app. Photos, you see the little photo icon there. It needs to be full access. Okay. Some folks may have it on limited access or none. If you do that, your XF data will not be pulled and your fish locations will be denied. So if your Fishing Chaos preferences look just like mine, you're going to get a green checkbox, and that's how you're going to know that you're squared away. But what I'm going to pull up here real quick and how you can test this yourself is, Todd, exit out of here. Okay, go to the test tournament. How you can tell if your XF data is being pulled, go to the test tournament for me.
Okay. And the way we go there is we're going to do FKBT test.
Yep.
And it will pull up this tournament.
Perfect. That's right. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to go to tournament. Have you submitted anything or no?
I have not.
Okay, go to search, go to entries, go to the far right here. Y'all aren't going to see this, but in your case, you're going to go to tournament dashboard, and it'll show you entries, but we're going to go to recent entries. Just go to recent entries, Todd, and type in, or just click one. Go to Frizzy. That's fine. It's a test tournament. Click that. It's taking a minute to load. And then you're going to go to entries. Just click entries. And then click the little green, three little green boxes, or three green dots next to 14. It don't matter which one. And hit manage. Okay, so zoom in here for me, Todd. On that little gray bar right there. Nope, zoom in, not to the fish. Zoom into the screen a little bit, if you can. Yep. So you guys see this little white, or this little blue circle with a white dot. Click that for me. It should pull up a location, just like that. Okay? That's Lake Toho. That is a captured location. Okay? That's good. That's what we want to see. That's where the photo was taken from. All right? You can cancel out of that. Okay? That's what we want to see. What we don't want to see, so I'm going to pull up something. I'm going to block off your screen. So what we want to see is this. It'll pull up a location. What we don't want to see, and if you get this, once you click the little blue dot with the white eye, this is what will tell us that your location services, your capture data is not being isn't properly configured. This is what will get your photo denied moving forward into the tournament season. Okay, so make sure that capture location, and the reason that we're doing that is because folks can go out of bounds, catch fish, come inbounds, and then upload those fish, and all we're going to be able to pull is the submission data. We cannot accurately determine if that fish was caught inbounds or not. Also, another thing that could really hurt you is if you're on a lake and your app isn't configured properly and you can't upload your fish during the tournament. You get on the road and upload your fish while you're on your way to the award ceremony. It's going to show that those fish were caught and uploaded on a road, which is not in bounds, which then those fish will lead to being disqualified. Okay, so again, it's very, very, very important for you guys to understand how to properly work the app. Every update that gets pushed on Fishing Chaos, it's extremely important for you guys to go back and test those app settings before each tournament. Before you get on the water each morning, it is good practice to know to go and test those app settings to ensure that all of your settings are proper. Android, they updated something. We just posted some how tos on that. Right, the biggest thing that I can say to eliminate any confusion is allow Fishing Chaos access to your entire photo library. If you go in and you choose selected, when you go in, you're going to have to select which photos you want Fishing Chaos to have access to. And how can you do that if you haven't captured those photos yet of those fish? You're not going to be able to. So you got to allow access to them to be able to access your camera roll. Location services is good while using, and then you should be good to go. For Android users, I highly recommend using the take photo through the app function. Yeah, Snurley, I'll get with you afterwards. Yours are not accurate. Or your location might be good, but your XF data is not. And we'll talk offline, and I can help you walk you through it. Do you have Android or Apple, Snurley? I was going to say Chris. It's Lindsay. Chris Lindsay. Do you have Apple or Android? Yeah, Android. That's exactly what I just said. So what you're going to have to do, Thomas Woodring was having the same issue. We might bring him on too here next week and have him talk a little bit about what he does to ensure that his stuff is squared away, because we spent about 2 hours before on Friday night figuring out what Android users have to do. But I would highly suggest using the take photo feature inside Fishing Chaos for Android users. But I'll reach out to Thomas Woodring. He couldn't make it on tonight because his son has some football. So we'll try to link up a video with him and have him share for the Androids, because I have iPhone. But yeah, we'll get you taken care of before the next event for sure. But I would also reach out to Fishing Chaos customer service and say, hey, I'm having issues with my XF data. And they'll be able to help you and point you in the right directions. They're really good folks over there, and they'll get you squared away. But definitely YouTube videos on how to do it if you guys have any questions and you're not following along on these videos. So Todd, I'm going to go ahead and remove that from the stage here.
Yep.
And then we'll talk a little bit about some photo submissions. Are there any questions before we move on about that? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure your apps and your all your settings in your app is properly configured, and you'll be good to go. The big thing I'll say here is make sure your notifications and your emails are set up properly on Fishing Chaos, because if something's wrong with your submission and we deny it or we adjust the length or whatever it is, it's going to send you a notification to whatever preference you've set. So if it's set to an email, it's going to go to an email. If it's set to your phone, it's going to send you a text. 99% of the time, though, it's going to send you an email to whatever email you use to register your account. So the big thing here is and we're going to hit on it, is how to edit your entry in Fishing Chaos. Okay, so for Lake Toho, I'm actually going to bring it back up, Todd, on stage. I'm going to add this to the stage. If you can go back to the Lake Toho event for me, please. Dashboard, and then go to Toho. Tournaments, and then Toho. Yeah. And we'll show them where they can access their Angler of the Year standings tonight, too. So Lake Toho. Real quick, this is the home screen to Lake Toho. If you go to tournament dashboard, where underneath it says registration not open, look at this. You have leaderboard, information, tickets, entries. This is all we're going to focus on is entries. So every fish that you catch or you submit in the tournament, you go here, it's going to show you what you have submitted, if it's official or if it's been denied. If it's been denied for any reason, it will say unofficial, denied. Or if it's not green, there's going to be 3 little dots next to length in 14 inches. On the far right-hand side of this, you're going to see 3 dots. That's where you're going to click and you can manage that entry. Say you put 14 and a quarter and it's a 14 and a half and you need to go in and make an edit. You're going to go to tournament dashboard, go to entries. You're going to scroll down to whichever fish entry you messed up. If it's, as long as it's not official yet, you can edit it. Once it's official, There's no edits. Only the judge or the staff can make changes and manage that entry. So what you guys need to do is you can go there. Oh yeah, look at this. You're going to be able to see that little blue eye right there, or blue circle with the white eye. You're going to be able to see that XF data there. Okay, you can exit out, Todd. It's there, right? Scroll down, you're going to see official status. You're going to see everything about it. You can see where it was submitted. So some people are going to say, hey, Chris, my location service is shown. That very far bottom right there, that location, that map you see right there, that is where the photo was submitted from. That's not the captured photo location. So don't get that confused. The judge is not looking at the submission location. The judge is looking at where the photo was captured.
That's right here.
That location. So scroll out of that. See, he submitted it at the same time. We highly encourage anglers to do so, and don't wait to the last minute, because it will result in fish being disqualified if your settings are not properly configured. If you submit a fish early in the morning, that gives us time to judge it, to verify it, and then to get in contact with you to say, hey, your app settings are not configured properly. You need to fix it. If you wait until 3:25 and you submit your fish the last 5 minutes, your fish get denied. Once 3:30 hits, we're not going to turn on the catch log submission any longer. You kind of shot yourself in the foot there. So do your due diligence and make sure that you upload in a timely manner so that we can make those corrections early on. So one thing I do want to hit on here, and sorry for talking too much here, but one thing I do want to hit on is you can catch those fish and your settings not be configured properly. That doesn't mean that fish submission is not going to technically count, or that fish won't count. All you have to do is go into those settings, make those adjustments, and re-upload those fish, and it will capture that data. Those fish are not lost. It happened with one of our new anglers. At Lake Toho, he uploaded his fish. He didn't upload it while I was on the water. He uploaded it once he got off and he was chilling at the boat ramp. He uploaded his fish, and it was originally denied because his settings weren't properly configured. I went over there to him and said, "Hey, man, the fish was denied. Go back, change these settings, re-upload, and we'll verify the location, and then it'll be approved." It is simple as that. But if you wait till the last minute, it makes it really hard. Any questions?
Yeah, one thing I was going to mention, and you may have covered it, I just didn't hear it, is so, we cut the standings off, 30 minutes to an hour before the end of the tournament.
Yep.
And you go to, if you upload a fish and you're going, I don't know if it uploaded or not. This is where you go to check.
You cancel out of that to show them that?
Yeah.
Cancel out. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great thing you brought up there, Todd. If you want to know if your submissions made it through, and it's official, you'll get a green official. If it's unofficial, it'll say in a gray banner unofficial.
But at least you'll know they're uploaded.
Yes, exactly. And you can go through there and check and make sure if you had duplicates. Some things that we saw this week too, where some folks were missing the decimal place. So they were putting in a 14.5 as 1,450 inches. If you need to make those edits, right, you go there and you can do so. Or you can delete it from here. You can, if you have a duplicate submission, you can go into here and delete it. Everything that can be done to edit your submission is going to be done right here in the tournament dashboard underneath entries, as long as the fish has not been approved. Once it's approved, it's on the staff and the judge to manage those entries.
But here's the cool thing. If that fish was DQ'd, all you got to do is upload a better photo.
Exactly.
Whatever it is.
Exactly. And if your fish was disqualified and you didn't get the notification, if a fish shows a red disqualified here or DQ'd, you click on that, it's going to show you the tournament reason, the reason why the fish was DQ'd there underneath that entry in this location. So that's a really good interface there to use. You guys have any questions, comments, or concerns about it? It's pretty straightforward. I highly encourage you guys to play around with the app. If you go to leaderboards, Todd, click leaderboards for me. There, just in that right there to the left of info, right there. That shows you what your big bass, what rank you're at, and everything right there. So for big bass, it shows you rank 3. For your best 5, you were ranked number what, 11 or 12? Yeah.
13.
Yeah, so that'll show you your ranking right there on the leaderboard. So Todd, real quick before we dive into the other stuff, can you go back to the main Florida Kayak Bass Trail turn or page, the main page for the FKBT?
Yep.
I'm going to show you guys right now where you guys can go to view your Angler of the Year standings. So for Angler of the Year standings, this is the main Florida Kayak Bass Trail. You're going to click Series Standings right there. Series Standings, click it. It's only going to show 2025 season. Okay, click on 2025 season, and it's probably going to show whoever won first place is going to be number 1. Yeah, so Sherman Bishop right now is in first. Lloyd Hardy second, Wendy Biles third, Granger's fourth, so on and so forth. So as the season goes on, it's going to take your best 4 Florida Kayak Bass Trail events to go, or no, best 6. I'm sorry, excuse me, best 6 of those events is going to give you Angler of the Year this year, and that's where you can go to check it out.
Yep. Here's a cool thing too: is if you click on this little down arrow right by the points, it will give your score for each event that you fished that's in that top 6.
Absolutely. Yep, and it'll auto cull your worst. It'll automatically do that for you. So it's going to be your best 6 for Angler of the Year, and your best 4 we're going to take for the championship. Or the best 4 is going to be able to is what qualifies you to fish the championship. Okay. Jeff, I've seen Jeff's comment. But yeah, that's how you check series standings there for AOY. Rookie of the Year is just going to be the same thing. It's just going to be which. So right now, Granger is in first place for Rookie of the Year. So it's going to be the best 6 for Rookie of the Year, so on and so forth. So, okay. Any questions? We're going to go ahead and move on now, Todd. I'm going to move this to the back. What I'm going to do now is we're going to talk and cover photo submissions, hand placements, blurry photos, all of that good stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up some photos here, and we're going to go through them. So before I do that, I'm going to show you guys what the judge looks at whenever he is judging our submissions. Again, no touch zones. Again, no touch. If it looks like it's touching, it's touching. Okay? That's eyes, mouth, and tail. And underneath the gill plate. So that's that. Okay? What we want to see in tournament and as judges and as officials who are running this are photos that look like this. Or like this. Okay? Again, that is a crystal clear photo, completely overhead. The identifier is in the picture. Everything is right with this picture. Everything is right with this picture. Okay? At this moment, I'm going to share some photos of some things that are not so right. Okay? Again, this isn't calling anybody out, but this is things that we saw at this first event. So we want to make sure that we're getting rid of it. Okay, I'm just in no particular order. I'm going to go down. This first one here is borderline, where it's blurry. I spoke to this angler, and again, it was just a case, right? But from a judging standpoint, right, it's hard to tell when you zoom in. It degrades it even more, right? So there's a glare coupled with a slight blur. It's not terrible, but it's borderline. Okay, we're still able to make out that this is a 15-inch bass. We can clearly see the identifier, but really thing in question here is the where it says catch, the inside of the fence there with the mouth making complete contact with the board, right? We were able to identify it. The fish was approved, but again, this is borderline. And one thing that we're going to show as far as that was a fish submission that was denied was this one. It's extremely pixelated, right? When you zoom in even worse, it gets even worse. But also, something that we noticed on this as well was we had to make a correction was when you guys are submitting it, if it's a 15 1/4, make sure you write 15 and a quarter. Don't make it a 15 and a half or 15 and 3/4. If it's a 15, don't make it an 18 and 3/4. Make sure that you guys are submitting the proper length for the fish that you're submitting. But this was DQ'd due to that, or not DQ'd. We just asked for the angler to resubmit a photo.
Let me throw one thing out there. If you're having trouble seeing what it's scoring, if you're having trouble saying it's a 15 and a quarter, you can't tell if it's a 15 and a quarter or 15 and a half. If you're having trouble, the judge is going to have trouble. Mm-hmm. Think of it that way.
Right. And then if we say, hey, submit a new photo, if we deny a photo and say, hey, make sure, or we adjust it, we say, hey, submit a clearer photo. That's why we say take multiple photos. Right. But definitely look at the quality. That right there, again, I think it was just pixelated because the next photo that I think he submitted a 19 and something, and it was crystal clear. Right. But for us, from a judging standpoint, that made it very hard for us to determine, especially when we zoomed in. So another one that I'm going to get to here is going to be hand placement and blurriness. This one's pretty blurry. Yes, we can tell it's a 16, but still it is blurry. Make sure that you guys are doing your best to make sure that you're submitting clear photos. But the
look where that left pinky is.
The left pinky is, from the judge's standpoint, touching the eye of that bass. So that fish was denied, right? That is over. That is, if you look at this, touching the eye or mouth are no touch zones, right? So that fish was disqualified. What I would suggest, and we have another photo here in a second. This one here, this photo was denied, right? The finger is making contact with the bottom of the lip. Okay, so hand placement. What I would suggest is I have a photo here. This was of another angler. If you guys are going to have to hold the fish in that manner, again, it's away from the eye and the mouth, and it's right over the gill plate. It's not under the gill plate. That's acceptable. Another one that was disqualified with this photo is one, again, the focus was on the fish and made the numbers on the catchboard blurry. We can still see that is actually a 13 and 3/4, and it was listed as a 14. Right? If you can look and see yellow in between that fish there, this fish was denied, but again, it was submitted as a 14, and you can clearly see there that there's yellow between that line. It's a 13 and 3/4, but what got this fish denied was that it's cutting off a portion of the inside of the fence. We need to see the entire inside of that fence, right? Nothing can be cut off in regards to that. Okay.
I got one here too, Bailey. Yep. I don't have a photo of it, but I'll give a description. So we talk about the tail being relaxed. It does not mean you cannot pinch the tail and then remove your hand from the tail to get it to go across whatever measurement. But when the tail is fanned, and if the tips of the tail go outside in the curve of the board, it goes outside of the line. It may go past the line, but it's not touching the line or physically going over it. You will go down to the next level of where the tail is touching. So if it does go across and it's not let's say it's not crossing, it crosses the 15, but it's not touching the 15 mark. It's in that curve. It's in that bend. And the reason for this is photos can have a little bit of an illusion in that bend. So we have to go to the next mark down. So always try to pinch that tail, make it go across the line where the tail is laying across or physically across the line, so you get your best score.
Yes. And I see Nicholas Beltran on here. Nicholas, all your fish were accepted. The location services was not, for this event, was not something that fish were denied for. That's why, because people were submitting them on the lake. So we used that. We reached out to those anglers. No fish were denied for improper location settings for this event. Fish were purely denied for improper hand placement, and everything that we're going over now as far as like clarity and missing things or whatever the case may be. But for location for you, Nicholas, it was pure. Everything should have been accepted minus whatever, the judge had determined might have needed to be fixed for your particular your submissions. I'll go through and look at yours. But do you have Android or iPhone? And I'll let him talk. So yeah, I don't know when it says some of your fish. I'm gonna go through here real quick and see.
And what I will say while you're looking at that up,
Yeah.
is so for Blue Cypress, just so
Yep.
everybody knows and everybody understands, if the location settings are not on, your fish will be DQ'd in that event. We have the first one out of the way that we let, because a lot of people were new, we had some issues, we let those slide. But if your EXIF data is not on, it will be.
So, Nicholas, that's what we're seeing on all of your location on your XF data. So if you go there, but I'm not going to try to show your stuff, but if you go to where it shows that little squirrely mark where it says next to geolocation, that's going to be I can see it, right? But that's catch submission location. That was on, and that's what we were able to use to identify that you were on the lake. But yeah, that's catch submission location. That's where the photo was submitted from. I'm not going to show your spots or anything like that, but that was on. So your location services is good. It's the permissions for the app to access your gallery on your phone. Okay. And we'll talk offline, but I would definitely suggest just taking photos through the app and uploading it that way until we can get a definite, hey, this is the proper procedure to do. And we'll post that once we get that from Fishing Chaos. But yeah, where were we at, Todd? Sorry.
I was just mentioning that we are, if we don't have the exit data on
Yes.
Blue Cypress and going forward, they will be DQ'd.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
We let this one slide just because, there were so many, we didn't go over it as well. We went over it, but everybody should know after this video.
Yeah, one thing in this club, and I'll be 100% transparent. The only reason that those fish were submitted or were accepted is because of the catch submission location. A lot of you guys were fishing Main Lake and not up in the creek. We didn't have much, and we do that for specific reasons, because if something like that happens, we're able to resort to the submission locations, and we're going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt, right? That's why we keep a lot of just the main lakes in place so people can't go out and do things. But a lot of that is some of these lakes we might open up boundaries is extremely important, right? So we're moving forward. You're going to hear from me or Sean or Daniel. I'm going to give you a call and say, hey, your stuff's not working, and I'll walk you through it, right? We're not out there to DQ your fish, but we need to make sure to run this to have integrity for the sport and for our club. We are very adamant on it. But we're here to help you. That's why we're spending 40 minutes talking about it, right? We got 8 people now watching. People are going to be like, hey, my services, I'm going to tell them to go back and watch this video, or to look at our stuff, right? Because we really harp on angler responsibility, right? And it's your guys' responsibility. We're going to help you. We're going to coach you and guide you through doing it the right way. But our main goal is to uphold the integrity of the sport, and to make sure that we are awarding the folks in the right manner that have earned first place, and not going out and fishing out of bounds low areas and then coming back in and submitting. I see, Todd, you got something pulled up here on Strike King. I don't know if you wanted what you planned on pulling up. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you had something planned. But something else I'm going to show here real quick. Okay, yeah. So we already went through all of that there. Again, yeah. Any questions? I see a comment here. Communication is key, right? Yeah. Again, with that, you guys, if you guys are having issues and you just can't decide, you can't figure it out, reach out to us. I would highly suggest Android users that are having some issues to reach out to the Fishing Chaos customer support directly, and have them walk you through it. Thomas Sasser, he's the guy that we talk to. I'm going to see if I can try to get him on one of our lives and do a how-to video or a tutorial on it. They're really good at it. But again, yeah, communication is key. We're going to communicate with you guys, but if you guys don't pick up your cell phone and you don't respond to our emails, that's all we can do. I don't have a boat. I'm going to be out of the state. I can't come find you. So again, be mindful of that so that we can make sure that we're running this trail to the highest quality and caliber that we can. Don't get mad at us if your fish are DQ'd. Again, big key takeaways here. Make sure that your photo that you submit is clear and not blurry. It's a directly overhead shot. It's not at some drastic angle. Make sure the entire catch board is present. Make sure your hand is placed accordingly to where it can be placed according to our rules. Right? Make sure that you put the proper measurement in there, and we're good. I mean, we're not going to have very many issues if you guys can follow those very simple instructions there. So I don't know why the thumbs up came up, but
look at your hand under your.
Gotcha. Yeah. So again, yeah, it was a fantastic event. The Lake Toho was amazing. We had 54 anglers that came out there. We had around 45 or 48 of them that showed up to the award ceremony. We gave away a ton of product. I'm actually gonna come up here, Todd, and I'm gonna add some of those photos from our library for the Lake Toho event. I'm gonna go ahead and upload some here. Todd, if you want to talk a little bit, I'm going to upload some of these and then, share them with the team.
Yeah, I will say one thing. So on the event, it looks like there was 206 fish that were submitted.
Yeah.
So quite a few fish that was caught, 206 entries. We had the big bass of the tournament was 23 and a half inches caught by Randy Burke. So that's a really good sized bass. Year before last, that won the lunker for the season. It didn't do it. The year we didn't count the championship for the lunker of the season, but that size bass actually won it. So they can hold up. You never know what the season's going to bring us. So.
Yeah. Right now, we got $245 that has been contributed for this last event for the lunker. That's the overall largest bass that's caught in the 24-25 season. Last year, $1,600 took home the lunker, or Sherman Bishop took home $1,600 for catching the largest single bass in an FKBT event. That's going to be huge. We're gonna break that. No, I have no questions but no worries that we're going to break that this year. But yeah, no, Randy Burke, I'm going to go ahead and pull up some photos here right now. First place, we had Sherman Bishop. He took home first place, and that was $800. So with 93 inches, we had Lloyd Hardy. He took home second place with 89 3/4. Wendy Biles took home third place with a tie. Lloyd Hardy broke the tie with the largest bass, with having a bigger bass than Wendy. But Wendy in second place took home $600. Third place took home, what was it, 300?
300,
right? Yep. Fourth place was Granger. He was a brand new member to the club. He finished fourth with 89 inches, and he took home $200. And then we had Thomas Woodring. He was the rounded off the top five with 85 inches, and Little Debbie. So for those of you that don't know about the Florida Kayak Bass Trail, we do Little Debbie. That's the smallest fish submission that was caught. His was just under bass. It was 6 inches. So he took home some Little Debbies and a Little Debbie check there. These are just some photos. This is the meetup afterwards at Big Toe Marina. We gave away some pretty solid product there. So I'll kind of go through that here. We gave away some Spear Point Performance hooks, some Crush City baits. We gave away some a kayak cushion, a Cush bar, some Strike King soft plastic, some Lose BB1s. We gave away a Lose Signature Series crank or chatterbait rod, some stickers. Uh, Again, some Rapala tackle boxes, terminal tackle boxes, some Hobie eyewear for big bass. So Randy Burke took home a pair of Hobie eyewear and $245. So yeah, it was a fantastic event. Some good, solid giveaways were given out there. We have some other photos here. Chris Mitchell talking about his Elite Sticks and how he's sponsoring the club this year. If you guys have any rods that need repair or you guys want a custom rod built, Chris Mitchell is starting up or has started up Elite Sticks. Get in contact with him. He does repairs and custom builds. If you guys have something in mind that you guys want, he can do anything that you want to do. But yeah, we actually have here. This is Kalen. He is 15 years old. He came up. He won some Strike King baits. So he came out and competed and super excited about it. So it was a good event. It was fun. We had a really good time.
Kind of ran a little bit of numbers. So we gave away in cash and prizes between $3,500 and $4,000 worth.
Yeah, between rods and reels and product and cash, it was a really good turnout. We got a lot of stuff planned as far as giveaways. Each event, there's going to be Hobie eyewear. There's going to be Strike King, Lose, Rapala, all of those products. Yak Attack, Beyond Braid, all of those. Yeah, we're going to be the championship. We're going to potentially have some Dakota Lithium stuff like we had last year. Twist Lock is going to be sending a bunch of their new beverage containers, new colors and things that they have going out the door. So we're going to be getting a huge shipment of that in, where we're going to be giving away that at each event moving forward throughout the season. Cross kicks.
First place gets cross kicks.
Yeah, first place gets a free pair of cross kicks, which is a $90 value there. So yeah, it's going to be a good season. It's going to be a real good season. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, we continue to have the turnouts that we had at the first event. Blue Cypress is going to be a fun event. It's going to be a one or two. Sean should have posted the boundaries on it. It's fairly simple. 1 or 2 launch points. I think it's one boat ramp that has 2 launches at the same area. So it's going to be pretty unique. I'm very excited about it. Shotgun start. This is going to be the first true FKBT shotgun start. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. You ain't got to go nowhere. It's got some really good fish on that lake. I'm excited to see. It's our first shot at it. It's our first time doing a lake like this with one launch. So get there early, get set up, get in the water. And yeah, get to hang out with a lot of people, man. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a really, really good time. I'm excited about it. I do want to bring up something that Todd did. Where's it at, Todd? Did you take him away?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your product that you just, oh no, right here. Look what Todd just made. Todd made some pretty sweet hats. He's going to be bringing some apparel to our events throughout the year. So if you guys want to buy, or if you guys want to reach out to him, you guys can send him a message. He can submit an order for you guys and deliver it to you either at the next event or mail it to you. But you know, the creativity is endless with this guy. He always comes up with some new stuff, and it's pretty cool to get to try it out. So if you're interested in any product, or you know, it's getting to be cold, or it's going to be getting cold here soon, he does hoodies, long sleeve shirts, beanies, hats, whatever you want. He can hook you up. So,
and we're getting edits made on our actual tournament jerseys. If anybody wants one of those, so I'll have proofs coming out here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, with Wildwear.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll have the official jersey link coming up soon then for you guys to place your orders. It does take a little while to get them made, so the quicker you get your order in, the quicker you'll get them to be able to.
Yep, it's tournaments. It's kind of the busy season for them. So our tournament season falls right in the busy season.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have all of our sponsors set up each year, you know, prior. So
Yeah, the link will be posted here, Andrew, within the next couple days. We just have to get it to the folks to build it, and to make sure that this will be. And also just a heads up here, if you guys have your own individual sponsors, your own business that you want to throw on it, whatever, when you click that link, there's going to be spots there for you to put your own logos from your own sponsors onto that if they're not already a sponsor for the trail. We'll have fixed sponsored locations for on the jersey that can't be moved. But when you guys are filling out that application, all you guys will need to upload is a vector image or a quality image logo for that, a quality format for
Yeah,
that logo.
yeah. It's either a vector image, which is Illustrator, EPS, SVG, I believe. Some PDFs are saved in vector format, or a
Yeah.
high res PNG.
Yeah. And a lot of these companies too, they already have some of those images on file. But if you want to put like your own personal business on it, make sure that you send in a high quality resolution photo, like Todd just said, so that it doesn't delay your order. But yeah, it's exciting. We're looking forward to it. They're going to look sweet. There's a new blue color. I think it's blue, red, orange.
Blue, red, and orange.
Blue, red, and
Mm-hmm.
orange.
Yeah.
So again, get that submitted. There's options for jerseys, hoodies, buffs if you want to get buffs made, whatever you guys want. So again, it's been about, we want to keep this under an hour. Again, I think I hit everything I needed to hit on as far as Fishing Chaos, right, Todd? As far
Yes.
as app settings, I don't want to harp on it too long. If you have questions, reach out to me. We'll get you squared away. Android users, I don't have Android, so I'm not too familiar with that. I would suggest you guys, Thomas Woodring. I'm not putting Thomas Woodring out there, but him and I worked closely hand in hand. I'm going to try to. I would just encourage you guys to reach out to Thomas, with Thomas Sasser with Fishing Chaos customer support to help you guys navigate you through the wickets of that. But yeah, that's all we really had today. Next Thursday, we're gonna bring on the Lake Toho top five and Big Bass onto to the podcast. Talk to them. We plan on doing that after each event that we host. Again, we're trying to continue this streak, and hosting these quality quality kayak tournaments, for you guys to enjoy. So anything that we can do better, let us know. Send us a private message, whatever the case. You put it on the members only page. Say, hey, throw some ideas out there, and not saying that we're gonna take those ideas and run, but you're gonna see throughout the year we're gonna reach out to you guys for your input and put surveys out on the members only page, and we want your guys' participation in that, because a lot of our decisions that we make are based off of your guys' input. So again, we did make one big change. Oh yeah, thanks, Lloyd. Don't sleep on Blue Cypress. This lake is beautiful and can produce some. Yeah, it's been fun. Some good fish can definitely be caught out there for sure. It's just south of Fellsmere and Stickmarsh, so it's a really good lake. We're looking forward to it for sure. What I was going to say is we did make a change to the schedule. There's going to be a change to the schedule, and unfortunately it deals with the Lake Seminole event. We are no longer going to be traveling up to Lake Seminole in Georgia for this year. A lot of that came with, I spoke with the Northwest Bass director, Matt Vogt. He's also the state director for the Florida Bass Nation Kayak Series. They are hosting a huge MLF tournament on that lake the same day that we were going to be up there. And that poses a big problem for us. So we've spoke, and we're going to choose another lake in Florida, and it's going to be Lake. What lake are we going to, Todd?
Lake Apopka.
We're going to be going to Lake Apopka on April 26th. Yeah, it's going to be a good lake. A lot of fun. It's a huge lake. There's a north launch, a south launch. a west launch. There's launches that you guys are going to be available to. Yeah, so Matt Boat 200 boats is a lot of traffic for Seminole. Yeah, so what we've decided to do is we're going to cancel that tournament, and it's just going to be the same date. It's just going to be on Lake Apopka instead. So
That's a big bass lake.
it's a big bass lake. A lot of big bags come off of Lake Apopka when you fish the Harris chain. A lot of those anglers come down there to fish and then put in some big bags. So
my understanding is it's a big gator lake too.
Yeah, there's some big gators there. So there's some guys. Definitely make sure that you can stand up and that you're comfortable in your kayak. Don't be falling out of your kayak in Apopka. Definitely in any lake in Florida. Don't just go for a casual swim if you get hot. There's gators in the lake, so definitely stay in the kayak while you're out fishing these events. We don't want no one to get attacked by a gator. So yeah. Sorry about that. I know there was quite a few of you guys that were looking forward to going up to Lake Seminole. We'll make a big post here, and Todd, we'll just have to update the schedule and post out an updated schedule for everyone so no one's confused. But yeah, we'll try again at some other point. We're not going to throw it in the middle of the season or anything like that because Lake Seminole is kind of far away, and it's going to be one of those things where we'll have to postpone until next year. Sorry about that. But we're going to put you guys on another big bass fishery anyway. So hopefully we'll get more participation in Apopka than we would have on Seminole. So to finish out the year, I would highly suggest fishing Lake Apopka on the 26th of April. Just throwing that out there. Right, Todd?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Just food for thought there. Hopefully if you guys made it 57 minutes into this, you'll kind of catch that. But yeah, not much more we got tonight. We appreciate those of you that are watching. For those of you that are watching after this live on YouTube, again, if you guys have questions about your location services, you can reach out to myself, Todd, Sean, directly. I would highly encourage reaching out to the Fishing Chaos customer support. If they can't give you an answer, we'll help you. We'll get you squared away one way or another. Okay. But yeah, don't want to keep you guys too long. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next Thursday at 7. Be safe out there if you guys are pre-fishing for the Florida Kayak Bass Nation State Championship that's happening at the end of September. Good luck out there. There's some good fish on Orange Lake. Best of luck. Get out there, put the work in, pre-fish, go out there and represent the state of Florida. They just released that Lake Fork is going to be where the Bassmaster the Bassmaster Kayak Series is going to be having their event. So that's a lake that everybody wants to fish. Some huge bags get caught there. So put in that work, take home the winnings, and then go represent Florida at the championship there on Lake Fork. So yeah, without that, I don't got anything else, guys. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next Thursday at 7.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Peace out.
Tight lines.